Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of the Live Fearlessly vlog with Rebecca P. This is my friend Megan. I'm going to be introducing her, and this is Megan Fikes. She is a fourth generation Northern Nevada native. She's married to her husband, John, and has 2 amazing little boys, Caleb and Jameson. Love that name. And when she isn't chasing after her 2 amazing kids, she is working from home with her Arbonne Health and Wellness business. She's the PTO president at her son's elementary school. Props to you, Mama. And she's an active member of the women's connection company called Polka Dot Powerhouse. Monthly blog contributor for Reno Mom's blog. And she also writes a personal blog about her life as a mom and being an introvert while running a social media business. Girl, you are busy and I love it. She enjoys reading everything, anything she can to get her hands on, cooking for her family and friends, and dancing to the beat of her own drum. Girl, I love that. That's me too. She loves living in Reno with her family and with all of the that it has to offer, and couldn't imagine not living so close to the Lake Tahoe, which is her favorite place on earth. I cannot wait to see Lake Tahoe. The way that you describe it is just amazing. I'm so excited for that. She is embracing and navigating her journey of personal growth while realizing her own dreams in the biggest little city. I love that. Megan, I want to say thank you so much for taking time from your day to record this, tell people your story and share your insights. And we're so excited to hear from you. So hi, welcome.
Hi, I'm so excited too. This is so fun.
I know, right? It is awesome. I love that you are in Nevada and I am in central Wisconsin. Yeah, we've talked about this. Technology isn't always our best friend, but it is amazing that we can have this talk right now, and I get to see you face to face. You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I know, it's so fun, and I'm so glad you switched from a podcast to the vlog, because yes. I like seeing people that I'm talking to, and it's so fun to have this platform to do that on.
I totally agree. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was funny how that worked. So I was like, wait, we're going to be seeing each other. And what's great is that I could always turn it into a podcast to put it on my website as well. So it gives you so much more versatility to do it as a recording like this first, and then switch it if you wanted to or add to it, So Great point. I love being able to see your face too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love being able to have you share something relatable, something more that people could relate to other than what your story is, because that's your story, right? And I love asking the question, tell us something interesting, interesting fact about your life that we would just not know unless we actually dove deep with you. So tell us something interesting about your life.
So growing up, I was just the super shy girl, the bookworm, always kind of in my own little world. And as I grew up, I was super scared to talk to people in general, and my husband would get so mad at me because I couldn't even order a pizza over the phone. I was too scared to talk to people on the phone, and it was a little bit ridiculous that I've gone from that person who can't talk to people on the phone to doing stuff like this and sharing my story. And so I've come a long way, and if I could do something like this, anybody can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've also always struggled with weight and body image, and I've managed to lose 90 pounds in the last 5 years and been able to maintain that healthy lifestyle. And I'm still not to my goal, but I'm learning to love myself in every stage of where my body is, and learning to be thankful for what it has taken me through and what it's done for me. It's given birth to amazing kids and kept me active and able to live life with them and do tons of fun things. So I think that's super important when you're trying to have a weight loss journey, is to not hate on yourself and not be negative about what you look like, even if you might not like it right then. So that was a big deal for me to get that mindset to click. And that's kind of when the weight actually started to come off and keep it off. So
yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, people are always chasing perfection, right? Like we always are improving ourselves. We are a work in progress. So as you said, you're not to your goal weight yet. And even if people aren't their goal weight, right? Like you talked about, loving your body, what it's put you through, you've got through with it, and the grateful things about it, you know, the fact that you can walk, the fact that you can do stuff that other people can't necessarily do, and you're grateful for them. So that's an amazing point, that even though you're not as your number goal, that the goal is to be healthy, right? It's not to be skinny, it's to be healthy. And I love that your mindset is on that important part of it. That's amazing to hear. So great. That's amazing. And congratulations about 90 pounds. Like, girl, that's awesome. Like,
yes.
props to you, mama.
Thank you.
So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that is pretty personal, you know, the fact that you were there, you're here now. And I love that you shared that for your interesting fact. And the pizza, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was at the same kind of level. Like, I wouldn't call and order pizza. So I was like, go online and do it. Like, so you don't have to talk to anybody. Like at one point that was who I was too. And I don't know why. Like we have that fear of like talking to people.
Block. Yeah. Like a mental of just not wanting to put myself out there, or I don't know. And my husband's so funny because he used to deliver pizzas and he worked at a pizza place.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Like, it's just a bunch of high school kids doing their after school job, and you can't even talk to them. Like, no, it's scary.
Yeah, and sometimes it's those just tiniest little fears that are just ridiculous, but they stop us from doing bigger things too. You know, it may look like just a pizza, but it's so much more. Like you said, like you got over that, and now look at you, like you're live right now on a video call. Like, it's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so okay. So I was talking about fear. So when fear was holding you down and stopping you mentally, like how did you feel about that? And let's talk about that, like the mental part of the fear that you had that was holding you back.
I just feel like growing up, fear was my best friend. It was almost my comfort of keeping me in my little bubble and not letting me put myself out there and get hurt, or God forbid fail at something. I came from, a huge family, and everyone was super successful and very outgoing, charismatic. Everyone had, that thing they wanted to do when they grew up, and, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, just like tons of stuff. And I think that intimidated me, and I never kind of thought about what my dreams were, because I didn't think that they would be good enough in, looking at how successful everyone was in my family. I was like, well, I'll just kind of sit in the background, and I'm a caregiver. I love taking care of people and doing stuff for people. So I kind of took that role on. And it, I'm very open about if you know me on Facebook, or if you know me personally, I'm very open about my struggles with depression and anxiety. Dealt with that since I was a teen, even in middle school. And that fear was always there, and it was kind of like a blanket to keep me safe from everybody else and safe from the outside world. And it had a lot to do, I was very, very critical of the way I looked and my weight and all that stuff too. So that fear definitely helped me not put myself out there and not get hurt or made fun of or anything like that. Cause kids are cruel, as we all know.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it was an easy excuse to just keep myself in the background and not put myself out there, for sure. So, it's been a long journey for me to kind of climb my way out of that and be open with it. And a lot of my friends are like, gosh, I can't believe you just talked about, that you've been in bed for 2 days because you're depressed. And I'm like, well, it's part of me, and it's part of my journey. It's part of my struggles. And if I can put that out there and help one single person help them go, get a therapist, or even just reach out to a friend and share that they're struggling, then it's worth it to me to put my journey out there. So it's
Right.
very important to me to have that mental health discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is in itself, that's a fearless act. Like, that's so brave. Like, a lot of people hold those struggles to themselves,
Yeah.
People have a lot of shame,
Yes.
especially women, about that, that avenue of anxiety and depression. And so many people have it, but nobody talks about it. It's one of those hush hush things that we smile and we put a facade on, and all those extra things. But like you said, like, you just kind of didn't feel like you knew where your place was, because everyone else was figuring their life out in your family and around you. And we all do walk or march to the beat of our own drum, right? And like, the fact that you were figuring out your place, it's brave that you're putting it out there, and you are taking the steps, not even realizing it, as you're moving out of it. And then the fact that you said climbing out, and that's true too, because it is such a struggle that people have. And the fact that you're taking the steps to do it, like, that's amazing. And when you break free from the fear and move into a new direction, like you have been, sometimes our relationships and our friendships, they change, right? So
Right.
did this happen to you? And explain more of that, like how that shift happened.
So, I've got a ton of people that are supportive of me and know my journey and know my story, and very blessed to have that inner circle and supportive family. But when anybody starts a network marketing business, their close friends and family are like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
Seriously.
what you're doing, just because they're not educated in the business model, and they're more thinking of the rumors about it and how it's a pyramid and blah blah blah, all that
Yes.
stuff. So definitely when I started my business, people were like, well, that's nice for you, I hope it works out, but just it probably won't. That sort of stuff. And I call them dream stealers, because I was painting this vision in my head, and this beautiful thing of earning all these trips and earning an income and being able to be home with my boys, but still
Right.
contributing to my family without being in an office 9 to 5. And I've always known that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I didn't realize that when I'm at home with children all day wiping butts and doing laundry, that I'm going to need something for me to fuel my passion and keep me sane. So at first it was kind of just get me out of the house, get me around adults. And then I educated myself and really saw the beauty of it, and realized how much personal growth I was going to be doing in order to be successful. And that's when I fell in love with it, was that in order to do this type of business, you have to work on yourself constantly, and you have to grow. You can't just stay stagnant. And that was a huge aha for me, and a huge reason why I'm still doing it today. Because I just see how much it helps people, and especially women, with getting over, all the things that society puts on us, and really working on yourself and not giving a damn about what other people think about you. So
Yeah, absolutely. Personal growth is huge. And like you said, our friends and family seemed like the closest people to you seem like they are the last people to get it. And like, any type of business is, especially network marketing, it's relationship marketing. We are building relationships. We are putting ourselves out there. Like you said, it's the personal growth. It's not about skincare, and it's not about hair products, and it's not about makeup. It's about how we can help people. And in helping other people, we're helping ourselves, our families. Like, it's a full circle thing. And it's just so interesting and frustrating to see how people react to that as a network marketing industry. It's just so, all of those things. Absolutely.
And when
So,
I actually sit down with people and kind of give them an overview of what network marketing actually is, and let them know, well, actually, your corporate world, that's more of a pyramid, because there's this CEO at the top, and you're never going to be that CEO. You're going to be at the bottom doing your thing and working your ass off to try to move up for pennies on the dollar. And there's always going to be the limits and the glass ceilings, and I don't want any part of that. So,
right. 100%.
Yeah. So it's definitely eye-opening, especially for the older people in my life that have just grown up with, you find a company, you work for them for 40 years, you retire, you get the watch, and and then you can start living your life when you're in your 60s. And it's like, no, I want to live life now. I don't want to. Yeah, I want to be able to work my business from anywhere that I want, and from my phone. And that's why I think it's really cool, how the millennial shift is coming, and how that's their priorities in finding a job or a business, is they want flexibility, and this is like the perfect thing for them to do. So it's been really, I've kind of always had that mindset. Being in one place for 8 hours of the day is just not my thing. I'm like, I just want to go out and do a million things, as you can tell, because I wear a lot of hats in my life, but I enjoy it so much. It's like, I like being with different groups of people. I'm kind of that chameleon that can get along with everyone, no matter what. And I just feel like this is the perfect way for me to do that. So
absolutely.
Along with which is definitely my thing. I'm definitely a nurturer and a caretaker, and this is just, it's my wheelhouse. And it's kind of fun because I never had that dream when I was growing up of, I'm going to be this when I grow up. I never had an answer to that question at school, and I felt like such a weirdo. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Now it's like I can do whatever I want. So
right.
It's really cool.
It's about time freedom, right? I mean, that's exactly what it gives us as network marketing industries, like time freedom. Like you said, you could be working from anywhere. You could be on vacation with your family and still working in the background if you chose to do that, right?
Yeah.
And if you had to go and answer a call, at least you could do it anywhere. But I mean, that's all so true. And the shift is there. Millennials and baby boomers, like, they get that. They worked their butt off, and now they're like, too. But at the same point, network marketing is for anyone, because they could do it even if they had an hour of time to focus in on finding the people that they can really be helping with their product, service, industry, then they could be doing that as a side gig. Did you know that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income?
Yeah.
Like 7 streams. That's
it's insane.
How are you going to find that if you're not in network marketing? I just want to know. And like you said, the pyramid thing too, I want to point out that too. A company has an owner, a manager, assistant manager, workers, cart boys, like whatever, janitor. The janitor in a network marketing company, what a janitor would be, right? The first person, the last person to join, they have the opportunity to get up to that very first person that got there. Like you said, that glass ceiling, like, there is no glass ceiling. It's as hard as you work. You don't get paid if you don't work. That's just any job.
Well, I tell people that too. I'm like, yes, it's network marketing. The word work is in that network. It's not a get rich quick. You have to work your business, and you have to do your thing. But I probably work my business 8 to 10 hours a week, instead of the 40 hours.
And it's on purpose, right? Like, you're purposeful with your time.
Yes. And then I get to enjoy all the other hats that I have on as well, because I have the time to do it. And I get to be super present in my boys' life. I get to be involved in anything they have going on. And that's just super important to me, is to be available and to do that. So it's been amazing. And it was, fear goes into all of that stuff. So I love that this whole thing is on fears, because it's a huge in my life that I've had to work on. and overcome.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it is in every day in everyone's lives. People just don't realize it. We all have fears every single day that could shift how our day is at any given time. It's really the mindset, it's the choice that we have for thinking positively about how we can whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I love that. So with that, like, what compelled you to jump ship from being on the fear of talking to people and what, like, holding you back? Like, where was that shift? What helped you get to that?
So when Arbonne came into my life, it was like I had been praying for something that I could do. I had no clue what it would be, and an old acquaintance came into my life and shared with me what Arbonne had done for her. And before, like, she, we belly danced together, and she was a very, yeah, I used to belly dance. So she was a very kind of negative person and always kind of complaining about stuff. And when she came back into my life, I was like, oh man, do I really want to have her back in my life? And we laugh about it now because we're like, oh yeah. And I went out to dinner with her, and I actually had another friend come with us because I was like, I don't know if I want to
a buffer
dinner with her tonight. And she was like a completely different person, and I was like, okay, there has to be something here if it has changed her so much. And so, I had a party and loved the products all on. She shared with me how she thought that I would be great at this business, and I'm like, I can't do the party thing. I can't get up in front of people and talk to them. What are you thinking? Like, it was just like, nope, not gonna happen. So I went home, and it was just on my mind. It wouldn't go away. And I talked to my husband, and he was just the huge catalyst for me to jump in, because he's like, is that really the only thing that's holding you back, is that stupid talking in front of people thing? And I was like, yes. And he's like, well, get the F over it, pretty much.
Tough love.
Yeah, and he was like, get over it, you'd be great, like, you can do this. And he was just totally on board and so supportive. And my whole team kind of calls him the Arbonne Husband, because he's always there to help out with anything that we need, and everybody loves him. He's been to our conference before and hung out with all of them. He's a huge supporter of what I'm doing, and he's my biggest cheerleader. So that was a huge deal to have, because I know a lot of people that start these types of business do not have any support from their significant other, and that would be so hard for me if I didn't have support. So yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have that support,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
That's amazing. Props to you, John. Shout out to John.
Yeah.
I love it. So side note, how did you meet John?
So when I went, UNR is where I went to college for 1 year, because school is not but I met this guy named Alex in a few of my classes, and we became really good friends. And John was actually his best friend from Vegas, and John ended up moving up here to live with Alex and go back to school up here instead of in Vegas. And so he moved up here, and we just became really good friends. And then we started dating, like probably a year later. And we were both like, we don't want to ruin our friendship because we're such good friends. Like, and it's like, oh, and then one night at a party, I was just like, hey, let's make out.
Let's just give it a try.
Yeah. And we were both
you don't know unless you try, right?
This is kind of nice, and this is awesome. And we've been inseparable ever since. So thankfully it worked out, and I got to marry my best friend. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and that's so true, even in life, like giving stuff a try, even if it's scary, you don't know what the outcome's going to be, you don't know how it's going to shift your life. And that just goes with everything. Like everything you just said, you could relate that to life.
Yeah. And
so
the fears of losing a good relationship, a good friendship, and sometimes you just have to take that jump and see what happens.
Yes, absolutely. You just don't know unless you give it a try and do it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So super fun. I love it. And the fact of the connections, that's the one thing I hear about people is like, it's not necessarily that you met John, like you had the connection of the person.
Yeah.
So, and that goes to show too, like talking to more people, they might not be directly for you, but they probably know someone that's directly for you, whether that's to help you in your life or for you to help that person with what you have to offer for your business, that kind of thing. So it's just interesting how conversations like this pull out, like, this is just life.
Yeah.
This is literally us living our lives, but it goes with everything. I love it. So exciting.
Yeah. I love
So,
it.
So what advice do you give for, like, what advice do you give for getting over the fear? Like the fact that John was your catalyst, but overcoming or, actively pursuing, stepping out with your fear and getting through that. Like, what would you give advice for the viewers that are watching?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can never get rid of fear. It's always going to be present in your life. You'll overcome something and there's something else right behind it.
Right.
So I just feel like embracing the fear and really stepping into it and learning why it's there. A huge thing is, personal growth and really working through the things in your life that you are fearful of, and I really like that, like step into it, like really just jump off the cliff and grow your wings on the way down, that sort of thing. I welcome it now. It actually, I feel like if you don't have fears, then you're not growing. You're just stagnant, not going anywhere. So I welcome it now and I kind of enjoy it. Because I'm growing and I'm moving in the direction that I want to be going. I never want to be stagnant. I want to still be, in my 80s, learning new things and trying new things, and pushing myself to the best that I can be, because life is short and we're only here for that short time. So you want to make the best of it. And I want my boys to see their mom going for her dreams and her goals. And I just think that's super important to show your children, give them a good example. So
absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. It's true, because, and they're the next generation. Like, I have 3 small kids too. So knowing that, and that's how I got started with my businesses, is that I saw my mom go to night school and start her own massage therapy practice. And that's how I started learning about entrepreneurship. And no, I didn't know that word. And I still don't even know how to spell it necessarily, but it was the fact that I knew that avenue was how time freedom was existing, because you can make the decisions to go to your child's field trip or PTA meeting and be more involved in their education or what they're doing in their lives every day, right? So I love that. And that's huge, being able to show our kids that chasing a dream is scary, but it's so necessary. Even if we're like, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, you won't know unless you do it anyway. So give it a try. And whether you fail or you succeed, you're learning constantly. And that's really the hugest part, is just them doing it and figuring it out along the way. Because, hello, this is my 2nd episode. I don't know. We're just doing it, and we're sharing what we do know, and helping anyone that's listening kind of get that edge on getting the mindset of it all too, because we were there, right? And I love that. So,
I see my oldest is very much like I was growing up, and he definitely shuts down and gets scared of stuff and has that fear of failure. And so I really work with him. I'm like, listen, if something doesn't work out, that's okay, because you tried and you learned something, even if you didn't, succeed in the way that you wanted. You're still learning lessons and you're still growing. So it's definitely big time to show my kids that.
Absolutely. And that's so true. I love that. That is good. Like, to be teaching every single day, even those little things when we're frustrated even. And something that I love to do with my daughter, she's 5.5, and goes to kindergarten, I do daily affirmations with her. The I am beautiful,
Yep.
I am strong, I am brave. Like, we go through them every day. And I didn't realize the impact it was having on her necessarily. She really didn't know, obviously. She's like, okay, I'll just parrot this back to you. She had no idea why she was saying it. But now, like, we started it when she was in preschool. Now she's in kindergarten. And I noticed a couple weeks ago, I had my husband start to take her to school instead of me. So she wasn't getting it.
Mm.
And she then would come to me and say, Mama, I want you to do the thing. And I was like, what? And she's like, you forgot already? And I was like, what thing? And she was like, the words. And I was like, oh. So then we did it. And now every day, if I don't take her, she'll come into my room or wherever I am, and she will tell me that I have to do it for her because she felt like it was missing. And I was like, wow, just
And
those little things that we're teaching them.
Yeah, it empowers her
Easy.
to get through her day and feel powerful
Yeah.
in her own little mind. Yeah, we have a great kids book that's one of our favorites, and it's Louise Hayes. She's like the queen of affirmations. She passed
Oh,
away,
cool.
I think, but yeah, it's like a whole book for kids on affirmations, and
Cool.
it's amazing. So yeah,
I'm
I'll
gonna
let
look
you know.
that up.
Yeah, it's awesome. We love it. It's one of our ones on really weekly rotation. We read it at least once a week, so that's a good one.
Well, good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so the last question I love to ask is, okay, so now you're living your life, you're living fearlessly, right? And where do you see yourself in 5 years from today? Let's dream. Let's be that dreamer. We're not a dream crusher for dreamers.
I will definitely be a national vice president with Arbonne. That's
Woo-hoo.
the top of me, and it's amazing. And my regional vice president in my upline, she just qualified to go into, or she's qualified for national vice president last month. And that means that our entire team is really stepping it up and doing things. So I'm super excited because we're all kind of headed that way, and we're all working toward that. And I just feel like I want to help people create that life by design and not trade their time for money, to be able to have the quality time with their families or with their passion, whether that's, building schools in Africa or, I want to give them that gift of being able to pursue those passions and not worried about going to an office job or not having the money or the money or the time to do that. And I really want to be a published author. I've been doing my blog now for a couple of months, and everyone that reads it is like, this could be a book. I'm like, well, that's probably the plan eventually, is to have enough content to be able to do that, and be a published author. And also I've been dabbling in public speaking and sharing my story, which is just insane to me because any of my friends are like, I can't believe, like, knowing you from when you were 12 years old to now I would never ever peg you to be a person to be out giving speeches. So I've done 3 in town so far, and every time it gets easier, and every time it just fuels me even more because I'm getting so much great feedback and just really sharing my story and being open with my struggles and my fears and everything. I just feel like it helps people, and that's what I want to do. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's exciting.
Actually been a huge thing for me to get over that. I spoke in front of Polka Dots for 2 months ago. I spoke for our meeting, and that was amazing because, of course, that's kind of like my safe place and my girls, and I know I'll be supported, but everyone was kind of like in shock and awe of getting to know me a little bit better and knowing my story a little bit better. So it was really cool. So,
that's amazing. I love that. So, okay, so tell us where any of the viewers that are watching that want to connect with you, whether it's your website, your Facebook, where would you like people to go? Maybe it's your blog. You can say it, and then I will also, of course, attach it for when this goes live. So where can they connect with you?
So Facebook, definitely. My personal Facebook is Megan Bacigalupi Fikes. That's my maiden name. And then I have my business Facebook page, is just Megan Fikes, Arbonne Independent Consultant. And then my blog is www.meganfikes.com. And then I'm on Instagram as well. My handle is megan.fikes. And then I have a personal one if you want to see more of my family stuff going on in my adventures with my boys, and that's Fikes Boy Mama. So we can link all those
Yes.
once we publish this. But
Very cool.
And then I blog
Awesome.
for Mom's blog too, and that's
Yes.
just mom community. So if anybody wants to check that out, it's just renomomsblog.com, and they're on Facebook too. So there's lots of ways to find me. I'm all over the place.
Just find me. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Megan. I love connecting with you. You're always such a blast. I love our energy together, and I'm so excited for everyone to see your story and connect more with you. So thank you very much for your time.
Much. I'm so glad that you're doing this and you're giving women the platform to share. So I think that's so important to have those different ways of everyone being able to share their journeys and their stories. So thank you for having this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for watching. Live and love yourself fearlessly. Have a great day.
Awesome. Bye, guys.